All right. Welcome, one and all, to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I am John, and if you could, please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. And boy, what a weekend. Labor Day weekend. Yeah. College football, that was the other podcast. Going to do one about with Brian. Check that out, please. And might be a little bonus. Heard there's a Scott sighting in the neighborhood, but we are going to go down with what happened on Sunday, August 31st, the last day before Labor Day this year. Happy Labor Day to one and all. And let's get to it. Let's talk about the U.S. Open, the biggest tennis tournament in the world. I think the most prestigious is the Wimbledon one. And Novak Djokovic. I consider him the greatest tennis player who's ever lived. 24 major titles. He is into, try and get your head around this, his 64th quarterfinal in a major. Like, that is 16 years where you don't miss a quarterfinal. And everybody has the upset. Everybody wakes up one day and they're upset stomach or they got a cramp or whatever, and they just got to go out there and just tough it out. And you run into a tsunami one day. I remember back in the day when Pete Sampras literally dominated Wimbledon, and Roger Federer handed it to him. Nobody saw it coming. Like, whoa, what happened here? Roger Federer, and on the top of my head, I don't remember who exactly it was, lost in a very early round when he was the most dominant tennis player in the world. Those things do happen. On the women's side, it happens all the time. But on the men, not so much. Now you got Sinner, you got Alcaraz, and you still have Djokovic. Let's appreciate the man for what he is and how great he is. He has literally, I remember when he was down two match points to Federer, and Federer was serving, and literally when he was at 30, he blasted this forehand literally 2 feet away from Federer's feet, and Federer had no answer. He was like, and then he won the next point, ended up winning the match, won the tournament. He hasn't won the U.S. Open since 2023. You know, we're trying to figure out what he is. Is he still a top 3 or 4 player in the world? Absolutely. Is he still in that elite range with Sinner and Alcaraz? Because there's a big gap between them and everybody else. I personally don't think so. I think they're a little too young. I think they got too strong of legs. But Djokovic is still Djokovic. You know, anything can happen. I would like to see him win the U.S. Open in his last go-round. But, we don't know if this is last go-round. I shouldn't say that. That's way uncool of me to say it. He has earned the right to call it when he wants to call it. I don't need to say it. Nobody does. He is the greatest. And for the Americans on the men's side, Taylor Fritz made it into the quarters. We just really haven't had that American superstar, in my humble opinion. Agassi, Sampras. You know, we've had a little glimmers here and there. I keep thinking Shelton is going to be the next big thing, but it doesn't seem to really happen. Personally, I think it's the McEnroe effect. I think McEnroe was such a dick on how he comported himself on the court that parents said, I am not sending my kid into that sport. And let's put him in golf, let's put him in lacrosse, let's do anything else. And I think tennis suffered. You do have to remember the greatest generation of American tennis players ever came right then. They were already in the pipeline. The Changs, the Couriers, the Agassis, the Samprases. It was literally the golden age of American tennis. That's a long ways away from what we're seeing now. Now we see Sinner coming out of Italy. Italy never produced anybody. I mean, Eli Nastase. I mean, come on. He was flamboyant. He was an amazing player, but he wasn't Jimmy Connors. Let's not make no mistakes about it. All right, let's get to the world of baseball for Sunday. We're in the final month of the season. 28 games left, 25 games left, somewhere in that range. And let us see what's going on. The Red Sox, we're going to talk a little here about it. They cut Wade Buehler. The Philadelphia Phillies picked him up. They have indicated they are going to go with a 6-man rotation for the stretch run. You know, they've had some bad luck with the blood clots and all. And Aaron Judge, little shout out to the Yankees, even though I'm a Red Sox fan. 358th home run, tying Yogi Berra for 5th on the list. I tell you something. You start looking at the last 5 years that this guy has produced. This guy is a stud. We are seeing a run in the non-steroid era that we have never seen. I mean, this harkens back to the glory years of Williams or Mantle or Mays or even Ruth. But Ruth did stuff that nobody had ever seen. I mean, that's why I think he's the greatest player ever. I mean, he literally, I think in the first year he hit 60 home runs. He hit more home runs than like every team in the league combined. I mean, he was doing stuff like home run. That's like space alien technology, but that was the greatness. That is Babe Ruth. I'm glad we traded him to the Yankees so we could get that thing going. Let's talk about Major League Baseball, and let's see the Reds. Wow, they're starting to make a little move here. 7-4 over the Cardinals. Singer gets the win. I saw him last week when he pitched against the Angels. Guy's got some really good stuff. Usually he pitches a lot better at home, but then he was in Anaheim. He pitched really well here at home. He gets him back off the schneid. Twins beat the Padres 7-2. Jack Ryan, the guy who was dangled at the trade deadline that they did not trade, actually 13-7, 3.0 ERA. Guys actually have a very stellar year. I was surprised the Twins didn't trade him since they literally got rid of like half of their MLB staff, or roster, excuse me. Red Sox, Jamie Duran, 3-run inside the park home run. They win 5-2 over the Pirates. Giolito gets the win. He's 10-2. 10-2. God, go think. Nationals lose to the Rays 7-4. Seymour gets the win. Brewers lose. Wow. In a battle of first place teams with the Blue Jays. Blue Jays take them down 8-4. Nance gets the win out of the pen. And the Marlins beat the Mets. Boy, the Marlins have been a thorn in the Mets side. If they don't make the wild card, I'm telling you right now, look at the Florida Marlins. They have been a pain in their ass. Alcantara seems to be rounding into form. I hope some prayers for this guy. Devastating rotator cuff injury. We have gotten so jaded in the sports lexicon to expecting these guys to come back to their Cy Young form. This guy, it's taken a little while longer. You know, Brian and I do the baseball podcast, and he was talking about Boston should trade for him, get him while he's low. Well, he went a lot lower. Florida still wasn't selling, but he's starting to round into form. I'm seeing stuff that he is starting to be the Alcantara we all know, and if you oppose him, hate. The Mariners finally got off the schneid too. They beat the Guardians 4-2. There was a memo put out, I guess, by the Cleveland Guardians management telling the pitching staff to take some time off. Like, okay. You know, this team is playing good. I mean, you know, they're 68-67. What are you expecting here? I mean, you better get a little help for Jose Ramirez. You know, I'm just telling you, just saying. Angels beat the Astros 3-0. Ward did a face plant into the metal fencing in Houston. Terrible. He was carted off the field. That is really a rare thing. When you see a baseball player get carted off, you know it's serious. I hope he's okay. I hope there's no spinal damage. I hope there's no concussion. Well, honestly, I don't see how he couldn't have had a concussion with the impact of that into a metal fence. Why do we still have metal fences? Like, I understand because of the scoreboard there. I get that. But Jesus Christ, you ever heard of plexiglass or something like that? I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. Tigers, 5-0 over the Royals. 15th shutout for the Tigers staff this year. Number 1 in the American League, number 2 in all of baseball. Skubal, he is rounding into form. Him and Crochet are going to be the neck-and-neck guys for the Cy Young in the American League. 12-4, 2.18 ERA. That guy is, when he is on, I'm telling you, listen again, that is the number 1 team in the American League to get to the World Series. When you have Mize, when you have Skubal, good luck in a 5-game series. Good luck in a 3-game series. Good luck in a 7-game series. Good luck, mother effer. White Sox, even though Judge hit his 358th career home run, beat the Yankees 3-2. Boozer got the win. Rockies, holy crap, they won. I better take a shot of vodka to celebrate. Got their 39th win. They only need 2 more wins They played 137 games. They got 25 to go. Can they get 2 wins to tie, 3 to win? I don't know. But kudos to them. The Giants and Verlander getting his 265th career win, beat the Orioles 13-2. Verlander's having a terrible year, 3-10 with a 4.2 ERA. And let me tell you, if you're out there listening and Verlander and the Giants come to your town, go see him. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I got a funny feeling this is going to be his last year. Who's going to sign him? You're in a pitcher's park with a pitching-oriented team, and you only got 3 wins. Sorry. I applaud the move because he was trying to get to 300. He's going to come up a little short, but truly he was one of the best pitchers in the last 15 years. Rangers on a roll, sweep the Athletics 9-6. DeGrom gets the win. He goes 5 innings, 0 earned runs. He's 11-6, 2.6 ERA. I would think, and Brian talked about this, losing Eovaldi is going to be a real impediment for them to make a World Series run. But I am telling you, I predicted this on the podcast with Brian on Thursday. This is a team that's going to get into the playoffs. This team is going to get hot. I also predicted the Reds. That's not looking so good. I own it. I'm not like all the ESPN hacks who say one thing and then the second it doesn't happen, go, yeah, I always thought that. Yeah, F you too. Dodgers, Will Smith gets a walk-off pinch home run in the 9th to beat the Diamondbacks 5-4. Trenning gets the win. And the Braves don't even have a clue what happened to them this year. It was literally a lost year on a lost year. They beat the Phillies 3-1. Kinley gets the win, 4-3 with a 4.6 ERA. Iglesias' 23rd win. Hey, there you go. Or 23rd save, excuse me. And that's it from the world of sports. And if you could, hit that like and subscribe. And we'll see you soon on Off the Rails Sports Podcast.